Friends, hi, Doc South saying welcome to another episode of Millie's Itinerary. I'm doing this at 11:13 in the morning, this particular episode. Oddly enough, this is Millie's Itinerary, 10:50 a.m. This would be approximately the time of day that, Millie and my wife Sandy go for their daily walk. Hike would be the best way to put it. They usually hit a trail or a park, dog park if possible. Sometimes just someone's field, out they go. Okay. Two girls on the town, shall we say. Shall we read? Yeah, let's, okay. And this probably, even as we speak, this kind of thing is probably just what they're going through. Okay. So let me get, we're all set. Let's boogie. Okay. The splendor of the tree-lined dog trail beckons as Sandy and Millie walk through the high grass and wildflowers. With every step, my two girls get closer to wood's edge. The sky, blue as can be. The clouds couldn't be puffier. It's hard not to notice the robins and bluebirds chirping from the nearby treetops. Just be sure to tip those feathered fiends, with maybe a handful or two of birdseed. I should say Boyd seed. That way your stroll into the deep woods won't have any problems, if you catch my drift. In Jersey, if you don't tip the songbirds, they'll rat you out to their pals, the grackles. With a wink and a nod, the grackles hop off the nearby power lines and silently soar to their private limbs overlooking the deep woods trail. You won't even notice them as they wait for you in the treetops while you walk below them on the hiking trail. Once you're under their limb, it's bombs away. Let's just say that a little birdseed might keep that pretty new hiking hat looking like new. Maybe something lands in that bag of trail mix if you're a deadbeat. God, whatever you do, if you fail to tip the sparrows, be sure to keep that pumpkin pie spiced latte you're drinking tightly covered. You catch my drift. You never see them until it's too late, and the grackles never miss. Take my advice. Just throw a little birdseed to the bluebirds. You won't regret it. And now for Millie, a walk is great exercise, but not for her muscles. No, to her, a walk is a nasal workout. The sooner any basset hound owner realizes this, the better off they'll be. Bassets, I'm told, are just a tad behind bloodhounds when it comes to nose power. Humans might see all the different pretty flowers out in a meadow. Hounds, on the other hand, smell each and every blossom in the field and in every other field for the next 500 yards in all directions. It must be somewhat overwhelming for them. I know that to Millie and to her fellow hounds, a row of delis and fast food joints would have great appeal. They'd probably get all choked up over the nasal splendor of dried salamis hanging in a deli storefront, and hoagies wrapped in foil. Just like Grand Canyon Overlook would take our human breath away, a row of outdoor cafes and burger joints would make a hound giddy with delight. Now back on the hiking trail, Millie isn't so much sniffing for food as much as she's sniffing for scents. If she gets a whiff of an animal who passed by the trail last night and lightly touched a twig on a pine tree sapling, she has to give it her full attention. The sniffing begins as her nostrils circle the spot where the critter happened to touch just one little leaf on the twig. Then her nose whiffs along the twig branch, back and forth, eventually winding up where the twig had earlier this spring popped up out of the soil. If the critter happened to leave just a tiny drop of urine at the base of the twig, Sandy may as well have a seat and call an old friend on her cell phone to see how they've been doing for these past few years. Millie will be glued to the sight for quite a while. Sooner or later, enough is enough, and Sandy has to tug on the leash. It's much like pulling up anchor on a battleship. Millie has to get in at least one last sniff. Then she'll back up and deposit a tiny drop of pee near the sapling base. I guess it's her calling card. It must be bad dog manners not to leave one. The human equivalent would be signing a guest register. The walk resumes. My two girls take in the open air and move out at a brisk pace once again. Millie stops dead in her tracks after 4 steps. That's one step for each leg. In other words, she's got about a foot. Evidently, a field mouse must have left it dropping on an oak leaf about a week ago, and Millie's on the case. At least this time, the dropping was too small to eat. The map sign on the trail says that it's 1 2/10 of a mile to trail's end. That stand sign's right next to the trail starts here sign. It's going to be a very long hike. Yes, indeed. Okay, friends, we'll see you later. Bye now. God bless.